Where at? Trevor Avenue.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
I'll be friendly, but I'll turn around now.
No, absolutely.
I get it.
Yeah, well, you get out of here.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it didn't seem like you had a question.
No, I just want.
They helped you there losing money. They all sure did.
Fine.
I mean, after age of no stuff, they're coming away with less money than they losing. Just sadly. About 16 people, buyers, I have to.
And then I advance it for the budget. I know.
Yeah.
Like most people, yeah.
All right, well, welcome to the June 30th meeting. Thank you for coming in the week of 4th of July. We didn't know how many people we would have. Whether we'd be on vacation, so office is closed on Friday. For any of you who may not know, so if you're happy to come in and use your key, but nobody else will be here.
Leadership would be off.
Yeah. Yeah, agents, you can work whenever you want, right? We'll start with happy birthday. We have one specifically in the room. Happy birthday. She's getting her haircut this evening, how exciting.
Yeah, it's gonna
Birthday.
be great. That and color didn't need it. It's wild.
Right,
Got to the gray side.
Right. It's happening quickly.
anyone else in the room now, coming up? All right. All right, bucket fills. Do we have any bucket fills? Anybody want to acknowledge anyone else?
I've been so excited to see Shannon and Tasha out here holding lots of open houses.
Congratulations.
It's like 3 in one day.
Oh my God.
Did you get some buyers?
I was gonna say, how'd it go?
I did not, I got two leads I followed on, so I'll take that.
That's good.
It'll happen. If you keep doing it, it'll happen. Good for you.
Thank
Yeah.
you.
Shannon, any luck on your?
Shannon had her very first.
Yeah, it was my very, it was like a shadow, Travis,
This was just a shadow for a minute.
Yeah.
She ran it just as much as
Oh.
I did, and did really well.
Yeah,
it was interesting. I learned, like, I can see some things I can work on, so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Do you want to share with the group any do's and don'ts?
So. Put words to it, know what you're gonna say.
Yeah.
Don't think that it's gonna come natural, because I thought it was just gonna come naturally to me, and I even did think about it, but I think you need to have like that concrete it in your mind what you're going to say.
Yeah,
Because I tried to improvise and then I was like, blah, blah, blah.
right,
So it wasn't necessarily what to improvise, but
yeah. Something to be said for experience when no one wants to say it, right? All right, anyone else?
You did better than.
oh, thank you.
No, no one else?
I will fill both William and Celeste for stepping in to sit at our front desk and be the face for briefly while I was out of town, taking a little time off. They are always so willing to sit up front, answer the phone, talk to people, and to make sure we have someone greeting all of our clients there.
Yeah,
So,
yes, thank you, William and Celeste. Holding down the fort for Lauren while she was gone. How about Saturdays? Anybody want to talk about Saturday? Is that on here? Is that slide on here? No?
Oh, it's really fun.
Okay,
I'm like, where's? Yeah, sponsored by Culture Club.
great.
Yeah, it was great. It was packed.
How
I've
many,
never seen so many people at that ride.
Wasn't as hot as usually is, what was it?
It was hot, but the sun was, it was rainy, cloudy.
Yeah.
Made it tolerable. The float looked amazing, and it sounds like that you guys had some real good conversations. I think we were the only real estate company
Yes.
out of 149 participants in the parade,
Wow.
we were the only.
Wow.
So
That, so we
Yeah.
need to do it out bigger next year.
okay,
So they had, I think my impact was, I didn't have candy for the kids.
oh,
Like going down and other people had stuff and the kids looked at me like, what are you doing? Like, why? I was like, I wanna have candy next year, so.
yeah,
before too, and then one person stopped us and saw me with Keller Williams, and he was like, I gotta take a picture and send this to my friend. And he literally told us he was gonna tell us, "Hey, where are you?" When he sent the picture, so it was a lot of fun.
Great. Yeah. So I don't know if that's a Cincinnati thing or if that's a parade thing, because I didn't start going to parades until I moved here, but like throwing the candy for the kids is such a big deal. And Oh, okay. So like I've been to Fort Mitchell, I'm in Kentucky, you go to Fort Mitchell Parade and like Edgewood Parade, the floats throw candy like crazy.
You have to hand it.
And the kids run out, they almost get run over a couple times. And then there's the one guy, if you go, so this weekend, if you go on Saturday to Fort Mitchell. There's the last float, he gives out rolls of Geta, frozen rolls of Geta. Has no one ever
That is.
Right,
most
can't
sad.
throw
I'm not kidding, and he throws it,
Somebody.
so you gotta like,
Wow.
it's, I'm telling you.
That could hurt you.
I mean, not to brag, but I did win the Geta one year, so. I only hurt like 3 kids getting to it. Yes, it's like.
Oh, William's asking about what Geta is.
What?
He's from Mississippi.
It's good.
It's the second.
It is good. Yeah, but I'm not coming here.
Their friend, I think their
Alright, alright, well,
Yeah,
Well-
an egg.
you've opened up a real can of worms.
It's like saying, what is
So
it?
Lindsay had on the schedule that today might have been a potluck. So when it is the next potluck, there will be a get a dish. There has to be a get a dish for Willie.
There's a chili contest we can do, I get it, chili.
Yeah.
Again, absolutely.
Don't do that.
Endless possibility.
Absolutely.
Endless possibility, right? Alright. Alright, mega camp coming up. I think they said yesterday I was on the call. It's like 45 days away. Give or take, because it's mid-August. Starts on the 17th. So if anyone's planning on going, this is the speaker lineup. I'm not familiar with a lot of these people, but
Bill Jones.
everybody was pretty excited about the lineup that they put together. They said it's one of the best lineups they've had. So if anybody's planning on going, okay,
Like Leslie Owen, it's a big AI person.
yeah, they talked about that,
Yeah.
right?
And Phil Jones wrote the book, exactly what to say.
I don't know. I know this guy they talked about a lot too, Perlman.
Yeah,
He's apparently written some good books.
a lot of authors.
Yeah, so there are a lot of authors there. So mega camp coming up in July. We'd love to have as many people from this market center go to represent us.
They haven't released information on the digital version.
Okay.
Typically, they have the digital version.
Okay,
When that information comes out,
yeah,
we'll have whatever we can watch, viewing parties here.
Right.
And Lauren will email everybody out.
yeah, that'll be fun. All right. Can we get rid, Lauren, can we get rid of this?
Hit more,
Hit the X.
Sorry,
more
or,
in the top right.
okay,
And then there should be hide floating meeting controls.
well, yes, perfect. Get rid of that too. Okay, perfect. Finance Committee presents state planning attorney Chris Ewing. Dialing. July 14th, so that's here,
I just,
assuming that's 2 weeks from today,
yes,
right? So 2 weeks from today after the team meeting.
yeah, I didn't have as much like built out on the slide as I wanted to, but I've been in contact with Doug Phillips, RAS finance chair, who has talked to this, Chris, estate planning attorney. He wants to come in shortly after team meeting on this day, give a presentation about his experience in estate planning and how just that knowledge that you might need in working in the housing center. I have a call this afternoon with a representative of his to hammer out final details, and as soon as I have those, that will be pushed out more of what to expect from this class, but just know July 14th, 12:30, so like team meeting, have a second to eat, come back in for that class.
Yeah,
And that team meeting is also fireside chat with Peter.
So,
so that'll be a good one. Yeah. You know, as you all know, baby boomers are a huge market segment. And what are they doing? They're right now, unfortunately, they're passing away, but if they're not doing that, they're transitioning into, retirement communities and things like that. So this is a huge segment of our business. If you don't have in your sphere, if you will, I will call them almost networking partners that you have that can refer these baby boomers to you. You should work on that for sure. There's brokers out there that help people get into it, even just flat out calling on a retirement home, because a lot of the baby boomers, they have to sell their home in order to be able to pay for the retirement community that they're going into. And so a lot of times, and I know this because when I was just home in Maryland, my cousin was saying about his mom, my aunt, that they've already been looking for retirement communities on their own, and part of it is they're gonna sell the home, they have to sell the home. So, I don't think it would hurt if you're out and about, we see a retirement community, to pop in and drop off a couple cards and say, hey, the next time somebody comes in and says, yeah, we wanna do this, but we gotta sell our home first, have them call you. So they're the perfect people to start networking with. Am I done?
One more announcement, but yeah.
It's not, but
Yes, we got to the box.
oh. I'll get it. 3 hours continuing ed, Ohio real estate ethics. So this is on. Sure, good place. So it's not. Wednesday, so this will be the next day after the class hosted by Jennifer Baldwin. She hosted some of our Breakthrough 120s, so she's one of our talented presenters. So this is up Wednesday, 12 to 3.
It counts for CP.
Yes,
It's-
it should be 3 hours, right? It's a 3 hour class.
3 hours of Ohio CE. It also gives you credit for the 2-year requirement that everyone has to do for your ethics for NAR.
Yeah. So. Come
And
on
that's
in.
$10, right, or did I see $10 cost or no? I'm not even looking at some.
Is there a cost? Lauren, do we know?
I haven't been.
We are working that out. I'm trying to get a sponsor for it.
Okay.
We'll keep you posted.
Uh-huh.
All right, so, it's my first meeting. As everybody knows, I've kind of come from the commercial world, and so one of the things that I like more than anything is I like numbers. And the other thing that I've been telling people that I'm meeting with is that we are a sales organization. So I think and we're an open book sales organization. So I'd love to go over some of the numbers on where we stand mid-year with everybody here and share with you and ask any questions that you can. So we'll first start off with year to date. So year to date, we've taken 583 listings. Total closed, 893. Look at that written volume, 305 million in volume. And gross commission income, almost $8.5 million that agents in this office have earned.
One second. To last.
Maybe that'll be in the next quarters. The third quarter, we, Melissa and I kind of threw this together yesterday, at 4 o'clock. This was our idea, so, hopefully you guys like it, you're interested in it, and we can, Melissa, can you maybe write that down, like for third quarter, we'll do like where we're at. My plan would be to do this at the end of every quarter, right? So 4 times a year to let you guys know, hey, this is where we stand, this is how we're doing. And just the market center in general. So. This is just June, so listings 112. Contracts closed 153. We still have 13 pending. We already had 1 today, Lauren.
We've already had 2 closings.
Already had 2 today, so now we're up to in this 155 and down to 11. And so far this month, well, and that doesn't include the 2 that we've already had or the other 11 that we could have today. Once again, close to $1.5 million in gross commission income for agents in this month.
And our record for closings in 1 month for the brokerage is 172. So we are potentially going to.
Very
Knocking
strong
on that door.
Very strong June.
That all includes TCG, right?
Yes, this is everybody.
It's everything.
Yeah, this is everybody, yeah. So. I mean, I feel like I mean, Melissa, when did you start? Late May?
No, beginning of May. Yeah.
Beginning of May, I started late May and the best June, I mean, maybe. I don't know if there's a correlation there, but
I could jump.
could be. You know? Coincidence, who knows, right? Alright. Alright, so number of agents that have transacted year to date, 128 agents have done at least one deal. Year to date, 71 so far have done one in the month of June, so. From a production standpoint, we have a lot of people helping out, chipping in, you know, doing deals. Right, and then here is kind of even a little bit more of a breakdown of the agents, it's a little smaller, but. Our top agent so far, year to date, has done 41 deals. There's 6 months, they've done 41 deals, so that's pretty good, right? That means they're averaging almost 7 deals a month.
Is that a team or single? individual?
That's a single individual.
Wow.
So that's almost 7 deals a month, right? We've got 2 other agents who have done 30 or more. 4 that have done 20. 8 have done 15 or more, 8 have also done another 10. And they have 26 agents that have done 5 deals, so it's almost a deal a month. We've got 26 agents that almost do a deal a month. So. The question is, where do you fall? Where are your goals? And. What are you gonna do in the second half of the year? So. We have this tool. Called the GPS report. Maybe we can hand these out. Thank you. And so I think this is important for you to think. That I have a great first half? That I have a decent first half? Or is there still something to be desired in the first half that I had? And if so, why? You know, did I implement on the plan that I put in place at the end of 2025 for 2026? And so it was my job as the team lead. I would love to meet with as many people as I can. As often as I can, but specifically maybe in June and July and just say, hey, where were you at the first half of the year? You know? If you hit your goals, what is the reason you hit your goals? What can you attribute it to? And vice versa, if you didn't hit your goals, what did you not implement on at all? Did you just say, hey, I just couldn't find time to do this? Or maybe it's just a readjusting. Hey, I did this the exact way I thought I should have done it, and it just didn't pan out. And that's okay, right? That's what the mid-year is. So this, once again, a GPS, and I'd love to talk to any and all of you about your plan moving forward for not only the second half of the year, but then maybe even you start planning for the first for 2027, right? And I know some people break it down based on their anniversary date, so this may not be the second half of the year for them or what have you, but. Once again, any kind of conversations we could have about your goals and. You know, at some point, Melissa and I and Lauren and Kelly and Lindsay and Tar will start talking about our goals for 2027, so. Right, so it's always a good thing to do. That was that. Okay. And today's guest speaker. Any questions on the, oh, sorry, real quick, any questions on the GPS, any questions on my goals?
Who to the GPS, who created a GPS when we did business planning funding? Annie's got a GPS.
These two better reasons.
I was gonna say, I've seen them before. I was looking at it in my head like I've seen this before, so yeah.
I got mine in my phone.
So the idea is you have your one goal, this is all comes from the one thing, which is the book written by Jay Pavazon. And you have 3 strategies or 3 priorities that support that one goal. And so when you think about like your goals, how do you measure them? It's not like I wanna be happy, that's my goal. Everyone wants to be happy, but what would make you happy, or what, you know, so you always wanna think of like a tangible goal. Like, is your goal 15 units and $125,000 in GCI? Okay, so if that's your goal, what are your what are your 3 priorities to meet that goal? And so right now, if you're looking at whatever goal that you set at the beginning of the year, it's mid-year, have you hit those goals? And if you haven't, what's your gap? So if my goal this year was to close 15 units, but I've only closed 4. What are the activities that I'm gonna do? Because I need to close 11 in 6 months to hit my goal. Because if you set goals and you don't actually stick to them, what's the point of setting them? And so if you take your 3 priorities, and those could be your 3 lead gen sources. So if I want to close 15 units this year, and I've only closed 4, and I have a gap of 11, my first priority is, okay, so my sphere of influence. How many of those closings do I want to get from my sphere of influence? Now, what are my strategies on supporting that? Do I have a 36 touch plan set in place? Am I going to host a client event? What are the strategies to build to those goals? And then you have to stick to them. Because what's the point of going through this activity if you're not gonna actually look at those different strategies? Because it's really easy, especially when you're new to the industry, that you say, okay, well, my lead source, I'm gonna do open houses, I'm gonna be on social media, and I'm gonna focus on my sphere of influence, and I'm gonna buy leads, and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do this. You can't do 6 or 7 lead sources. Your top agents only use 3 to 4 maybe. So you gotta home in on what those priorities are to support your goals. And I can tell you this, if your calendar has you doing anything other than what your strategies are, you're already on the back path. So this is kind of step 1 into the next activity, which is called a 411, which is actually, you know, what are your weekly activities that support your 1K goal? So all from the 1K.
I will say, this thing is magical. I have been using this thing for 11 years before I knew it was a Pelicans thing. I use this to remodel my kitchen. Like anything I need to like do in my life, I use this GPS because it is just a way to like organize how things are gonna happen. I really love it.
Yeah. And there's several ways you can do that, you know, you can. If you have a goal of an income goal, you know, how do you back into an income goal? You know, I wanna make 6 figures for the first time in my real estate career, and then it's like, well, how many deals do you have to do that? And how many deals is that per month? And then what are the activities that you have to do that? So I think I've told some people before, I saw an interview with Derek Jeter, if nobody knows Derek Jeter, the Hall of Fame Yankee shortstop. And they always said like, what was the one thing about you, you know, and he was like, I don't think I was the most competitive, I don't think I was the most talented, I don't think it was this, he said. But nobody beat me in preparation. Every day I showed up to the ballpark, I did this for an hour, I did this, I did before every game. He wasn't one of those people that just showed up and hit the ball, right? There are people that can do that. Not everybody can do that. And I think that's kind of going back to this. So to Annie's point, it's like if you have this and it's every day, I prospect from 9 to 10. I hit the streets, I do this, like do that. And then, once again, maybe it's not gonna work. But more than likely, activity will lead to success. There's an old saying, like, if you don't get out of bed, right? Because that's what this job is, getting out of bed. If you don't get out of bed, the likelihood of something great happening, could it happen? Maybe. The likelihood's not very good. But the harder you work, the more successful and lucky you'll be that something great is gonna happen. This is Pope.
One of the classes I was in, it was really helpful, to focus on, Peter talks about like what Lindsay said, the sphere. Majority of our deals can come from the sphere, but then look at your past years. And then see where the majority of your business came from. Was it from social media? Was it from door knocking? Was it from open houses? And then make those your next top 2.
Yeah.
And then now we have ChatGPT. You can say, hey, ChatGPT, I love doing this around this open house, this, and this. Give me strategies that line up with what I already love. So you can do things like that.
Yeah. Lindsay, what did you call it? So I was calling my network, people that referred me business. What did you
Your
call it?
sphere, your
Yeah.
influence, SOI.
Yeah, not, I thought you said something, another thing, I can't remember. But like your 3 lead gen people, is that what your lead gen?
Yeah, so you typically you have 3 lead gen sources.
Right.
And so it could be your sphere,
Oh, okay,
it could be like open houses, it
Yeah.
could be lead gen.
okay,
There's dozens.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's dozens of lead gen sources and everyone's business is structured differently.
yeah,
But what you have to do, and like Jennifer said, is you have to look back at your wins, like your ROI. Like if you're
Yeah.
pouring your time is money into open houses, but you're not generating leads from that. Maybe you have to change your strategy or you change the way you do it.
yeah,
But there's, you wanna look at those and focus in on only 3 of them because
Right.
you could stretch yourself so thin.
yeah. Yeah, and this is a good, like, honestly, this is a great time to do it. Because everybody typically in business evaluates their year halfway through. So to follow up with people to get re-energized, this is a great time to do it. You know, I don't know if you wanna start today, but definitely Monday. After the holiday, like. Here we go, 4th of July's over. Summer's halfway over.
It's Halloween.
What's that?
Halloween.
Yeah.
July 5th equals Halloween in my house, so.
Right.
Yeah.
Start decorating for Halloween on July 5th.
It's a mindset, it's a lifestyle.
Okay.
GPS quarterly, like people with this quarterly, or do you look at this for the entire year?
Like reviewing it. So you should be reviewing your GPS quarter. Yeah, and then when you do a 411, you should be reviewing it, checking in with it weekly, and then do a review monthly on the 411.
Okay, all right, now we're gonna move on to Richard with first inspections. Thank you for coming and
Oh,
talking to the
yes,
team,
thank you.
Richard. Appreciate
I
it.
do commercial inspections too.
Okay, good to know.
Yeah, so my name's Richard McKenzie with First Inspection Services. We do have a ton of lunch out there, so please don't leave. There's something for everybody. So what I've heard so far is trust the process. So today's talk is going to be a little bit about the process of when you're at the inspection. If you have an inspector that doesn't frighten your customers, trust the process. I'm gonna be talking a little bit about things that and I'm not a lawyer, but things that you don't want to say at the inspection. And things that you do want to say, okay, because that can get you in a lot of trouble if you say things that you shouldn't say. So let's cover some of those things, and somebody may want to take notes, because you may want to forward this to like everybody. This is one, when I choose a topic, it's sort of like, what happened this week? Oh, that's a good topic. So I had one agent, not from this office, who was with me at this house that had a horizontal crack on the foundation. And there was a previous structural engineer's report. And the structural engineer's report, I've never heard of this person, I'm not gonna say his name. But the report said you need to put in some vertical I-beams to fix this crack. And then in the second part of the report, it said, but you may not need to do them now. And I'm like, somebody may have bent his ear and he gave in to satisfying that person. That's a problem. You don't want to be in that situation. Trust the process. If you follow the process with the inspection, with our recommendations, our suggestions, you'll get to the closing table. It will work out. You don't want to rush it. You don't want to take too long, but you want to trust the process because there's a method to the madness. So a few things, for example, if we point out that there's knob and tube wiring, and we suggest that it be further evaluated by a licensed electrician before the end of the inspection period, that's important. Now, why do we want to do that? Not to slow the process down, but because there's a few things. It's pretty hard to find a homeowner's insurance that will insure it now. That's going to impact the person. There's a lot of junction boxes with newer wiring that are done, especially in the basement ceiling. That need to be looked at to make sure they're junction correct, okay? So it's important to follow the process. Now, some things that I have heard other agents say, not from this office, of course. Well, we can just, they'll ensure that, that's fine, right? Don't put us in that position. That's not something you want to say in front of the home inspector, because then we have to scramble with what to kind of. We have fiduciary duty to the client, just like you do, so we have to protect their best interests. Here's another one that we've heard a couple times, lead water supply line. At least in the city of Cincinnati, they require that be replaced with every real estate transaction. Here's what we have heard agents say to us. Well, that can be filtered, right? It's like you're putting the onus on the inspector to say, no, you're wrong. We don't put the inspector in that position or the client, because that's misrepresenting the situation. Here's another one. The roof is about 35 years old. It's a 20-year shingle. It's not leaking. Oh, it's not leaking. That's okay. So how much more life does it have? That's not the point. It needs to be replaced. So again, trust the process. Don't assume just because there's some repairs needed, even if the house is in a neighborhood that's selling like, it's getting 7 offers for the house. Don't assume it's not going to go to the closing table just because it needs some repairs. Because remember, if it doesn't go through on this transaction, it's got to get put back on the market. It's got to have some disclosures, right? So the owner's going to be in a position, I either pay now or pay later, one or the other, or sometimes it's as is. There are a lot of houses that are as is in some areas too. The other one you don't automatically assume, and I'm not saying any of y'all do this, I'm just trying to help you watch out for future stumbling blocks, so you can get to the closing table. Well, we can just get a warranty for that, right? Well, hold on. That may cover things, but a lot of times you need to have the inspection, you need to have the age, and it needs to have a first tune-up or some repair before that warranty company will warranty that item. And roofs now too, a lot of most homeowners insurance policies now, if the roof is like really close to the end of its life, they're not going to insure it for anything. Zip, zero. That's very important to know and realize for your client. So again, things that you should say and shouldn't say. Sewer scopes, they're very popular. Okay, very popular now. But if your house is in Westchester and it's like 15 years old and there's like no trees in the front yard and it's flat, you don't need a sewer scope. That's a complete waste of money. So we always try to not sell people stuff that they don't need. So sewer scopes probably about 40, 50 years at the earliest, probably for that. And you always just want to just observe the process, try to learn as much as you can from us, because that helps you pick out houses with your client that are going to inspect better. The more you pay attention, the more you listen to the inspector and file stuff away. Not that we know everything, because we still have to do, CE classes too. We got to keep up with that as well. But the more you listen, the more you'll be able to be successful and stay on get in your groove and do those 3 lead sources. And I'll end with this about what to say, what not to say. I try to teach my 2 sons that and I heard this from some other experts, I didn't just make this up. So when you are really good and you find something that works and you're like doing that thing really well, you don't necessarily need to work on all your weak spots. You follow me? Well, I need to improve this, and this, and this. Maybe not. Maybe you need to just spend 80% of your time on your strength. And the other 20% you got left, you can sprinkle around the other stuff that supposedly you're weak at. And then that's how you become that top agent, that top inspector, the top dog, whatever you want to call it. So y'all have any things that you've heard that people have said that you're like, oh, I don't want to do that?
I experienced live
always this, the language that is chosen in an inspection. When an HVAC is at a certain age, it's always this at the end of its life. But why is that the language? Because no one, that is an unknown.
Yep. Yep,
What is-
but an HVAC technician can tell that person approximately how much life is left, because they're gonna dismantle it, take it apart, they're gonna open it up, look at the heat exchanger. It's not that we're passing the buck. We are actually pointing out those things, especially for the big four, and I've said this before at other presentations, the roof, furnace, air conditioner, and the structure, AKA the foundation walls, are your four biggest things that can put you in the poorhouse the fastest with that house. So if a furnace, gas fired furnace typically is 20 to 25 years, and I'm sure you may have other opinions from other inspectors, but air conditioner 15 to 20. Some roofs are gonna be 15 to 20 year shingles. There's some builders that put really crappy shingles on roofs and make it look like they're expensive shingles and they're garbage, but neither here nor there. And some roofs are 25 to 30, 30 to 35. We're gonna try to put what we see as the approximate age of that. And your client has to make a decision, okay, maybe I get a warranty on the house because it may help me a little bit, but I have to have an initial benchmark of the condition of that item before that warranty company that they're paying $700 for is gonna put on that, and it may not be a great warranty, it may not cover that much. So we do have reasons for the wording, we have reasons that we tell them things at the inspection, tell you. That there are reasons for those, we don't try to, avoid pass the buck. We gotta navigate you guys' personalities, we gotta navigate the client, I kind of like myself as a part-time psychologist. I mean, I'm sure you do too. It's like, it's like I stayed at a Holiday Inn Express last night and I suddenly became a psychologist. Just because everybody's personalities and opinion. Great question though. Did I answer it or
I guess
take
it's
a few
always
laps around the
like,
pond?
why can it not just be like the typical age? This is the approximate age. Like, to me, that would be enough information for me to then have the conversation. It's more around that language, like, it's at the end of its life.
Yeah,
Because
I
it's like,
think that-
it's
Well,
Yeah, I guess
I have put, it's approaching, because the other day I had a Williamson air, not furnace, air conditioner. It was 59 years old and it was still cooling with R22 coolant, and I'm like, that's original to the house. What do I say? Is that approaching the end of, I mean, it could be tomorrow, it could be
you
5
say,
years from now.
this is typical, this is how old it is, and then fill in the blanks.
Yeah, I think that wording at the end of its life, and I understand that inspection companies are using that language to cover themselves. But it is such to our buyers, it's like a death wish. When they hear the words at the end of its life, it doesn't matter if that furnace has been serviced impeccably for the last 14 years, and they probably could get another 30 out of it. I don't know, but just hearing that is always a disaster.
Well, let me put it this way, what would the client's opinion be of you, us, and anybody if they buy that house and we didn't tell them that the typical lifespan is about 20 years? The air conditioner's 59, they move in and it dies 6 weeks into July before the end of August. Who are they gonna be mad at?
Well, they should be mad at themselves because they obviously don't have critical thinking.
That's not how the real world works.
How it works.
But that's not, yeah,
I mean, if you say it's gonna last 20 years and it's almost 60 years old.
we tell them to
they-
budget for
they should-
replacement.
They should have a critical thinking to say, math is not math.
Warranty.
Yep, and we tell them that. Yep, absolutely.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
Everything has a useful life, right?
Yes,
A useful lifespan, so every component has a useful lifespan.
Yep.
And I tell my buyers that useful lifespan means the average air conditioner is gonna last 15 to 20 years.
Yep.
So I think if you explain that to them in a way that does make common sense.
Yep. And we
Yeah.
typically don't put that wording that you just said in there. We put, we cannot predict the remaining life in this unit. Yeah, that's it.
And there's HVAC guys out there that know how to keep, a HVAC like going. And
Sure.
know how to come in and say, oh, someone else will come in and say, oh, you need a brand new one. And
Oh, yeah.
34 years old, and this
Yep.
guy comes in and says, oh, I can see exactly what needs fixed. Fixes it, and you'll have another 5 to 10 years out of it.
Sure, it's possible. My furnace is 23 years old and I'm trying not to replace it. Yep. Did y'all get a lot out of this? I hope.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Get a lot out of the food too, please.
Yes.
There's a lot of it.
Thank you very much.
All right.
Stick around. Thank you. Stick around when you're done. All right, good job. All right, wrap up. I have a need. Anyone who wants to lead us off? Lindsay.
I have a buyer need. I of course went on vacation and signed my first buyer. So I have a buyer who's looking for kind of a unicorn, acre plus home, 2-bedroom. Anywhere with the land within 45 minutes of downtown Cincinnati, and they need a huge barn of some sort to store equipment. He runs his own landscaping construction company and he wants to consolidate and have everything on his property.
Where does he want to be the part anyway?
We looked at a property in Blue Rock, we looked at a property in Mount Healthy. I mean, it's, the land is the big thing.
Yeah, in barn.
Land and not like, or like a large shed,
Yeah.
like a property this weekend that has 2 12-foot garage doors, huge space.
Amelia might be a good.
What about Hillsborough?
So Hillsborough, they're looking at,
I got
it's not ideal,
5.5 acres.
yeah. If you wanna send that property, their budget's up to 350.
It's 275, it has a pole barn, chicken coop, 4-bed, 2-bath, 2 bays, concrete,
Is
electric.
it active right now?
Yeah.
Okay, send that to me.
It's not my listing, but somebody sent it to me.
I've sent them a bunch of stuff in Hillsborough, they shied away from it.
If they buy this one, I'll take it.
Okay.
For my.
I'm curious which one it is. We've looked at a couple out in Hillsborough. That is like an hour, 10 minutes away, so they're kind of hesitating.
Alright.
All right, who else? Anyone? Travis?
I've got a 3-bedroom, 2-bath. On Cathedral Street in Norwood coming up. Probably just after the 4th of July, around the 15th of July. Full basement, it's not finished, but it can be. It's got a nice deck. It's got heated, bathroom floor, updated main ensuite bathroom. Updated kitchen, darling little house, one of my favorite streets in Norwood, Cathedral Avenue. Think we're gonna price at about 270, 260, we haven't got a final on that, but. And then I've got a 3-2 in Madisonville coming up in about a week or 2, completely updated, probably around 320. Completely updated bathroom, flooring, everything, the guy, the family that own it, he's actually in that business, so he updated himself to home with. They put him on a couple times and we're doing some changes.
I have a farm coming up in Hillsborough, speaking of Hillsborough. It has the main house is 2,500 plus square feet, it's a 6-story. There's a little farmhouse also on the property. There's also a mobile home on the property. Tobacco barn, there's a small barn that probably needs to be removed. There is a detached garage barn, it's bigger than a normal detached garage, a couple lean-tos, shed, 112 acres. We're thinking of listing it at 1.5 million for that, so if anyone has someone who's looking for a working farm where you can live, it's really a beautiful piece of property. What I love about it most is that they're leasing currently to a farmer, so the tillable acreage is still all there. There aren't trees that have grown up all over the place. It's still very tillable, nice piece of property, very beautiful. And then I looked at a I looked at a 3-2 in Milford yesterday, that's gonna be coming up in a couple of weeks. Full finished basement, just a really nice piece of property in Miami Township, so we're looking at like 375 or 385 per month. So if you got anybody. You heard this, let me know.
Travis,
I have a 4-3 in Anderson. Really well kept place, flat backyard fence. Going for 545. Then I don't have a listing, but I have a listing also in Norwood that's 3-2.
It's your house,
Updated.
it's your house.
Yeah, so find a buyer. That was what, 224
It's very
not
cute,
updated.
it's adorable, I went to the open house,
where are you going?
it's gone, leaving.
Cardboard box.
Yeah. You have a key to this place.
She knows he's here, it's 16. It is really
In
cute,
a
it's
row.
got new carpet, freshly painted. Good sized bedroom.
All the appliances are brand new.
Downstairs is cute too, with a walkout.
It's really cute. You've done a good job on
It's in an
it.
excellent
Fixing it.
neighborhood in Norwood.
I like your sign in where you just put your first name.
I did, cause I just went for my buyer, cause out of town, I told you, but.
What's the price?
224.
I want an inspection.
No,
It does have an old AC unit,
Oh, yeah. But it comes
But
without
the-
warranty.
it still runs,
Yes,
But brand new.
not near the end of its life.
critical thinking.
I need a condo or townhome. It can be 2 levels, one is preferred. In-suite bathroom on the primary if possible, and if can have a garage, that's preferred, it doesn't have to, but Cold Rain, Finneytown, somewhere in that vicinity. Around 300, anybody has
There's
this?
a couple places that just popped up last couple days.
Yeah, she just told me that this morning, so I have to check.
I can look at it.
All right, good stuff. Anyone else? Okay. I think that's it. Thanks, everybody, for coming. And Richard really wants us to eat his food, so. Thank you, guys.
Thanks.
It's amazing how. Other.
Thanks, Lauren. Good job.
But AC just